Hello, welcome to Kush News, the newscast of the African diaspora. I'm your anchor, Ochanda, daily bringing you the top stories from Africa and the Caribbean. Let's take a look at today's news on Thursday, November 16th, 2023. We go to Madagascar, where citizens go to vote for the next presidential election. Citizens of Madagascar went to the polls today to vote in the first round of the presidential election. Most of the opposition leaders have called on voters not to participate in Thursday's presidential election. 10 of the 12 opposition candidates running against incumbent President Andry Rajoelina have led near daily unauthorized marches in the capital for more than a month to protest against the elections. Rajoelina, age 49, became Africa's youngest head of state back in 2009. He stepped down but returned back to power and was voted back in 2018. For weeks, police have fired tear gas to disperse nearly daily demonstrations against Rajoelina. On Sunday, they fired tear gas and detained 11 protesters. The 10 candidates, including 2 former presidents, have urged their supporters not to cast ballots. One opposition leader said that we will call on people not to go and vote. Last week, the head of the lower house of the parliament called on suspension of the presidential elections to ensure peace and harmony in the country. The situation in the country did not allow for a free and credible vote, an official said. Opposition leaders say that the National Electoral Commission lacks independence. The opposition also says that Rajoelina should be disqualified from running because he acquired French citizenship back in 2014. A court ruled that he could maintain 2 nationalities. Voters were initially due to head to the polls back on November 9th, but the country's top court in October ordered a delay after the presidential candidate was injured during a demonstration. Those in Madagascar, let us know if you went to the polls today. Let us know if you went with the incumbent or some of the other candidates on the ballot. Let's go to South Africa, where they are referring to the international criminal courts over what's going on in the Mideast. South Africa has filed a referral to the ICC, known as the International Criminal Court, for an investigation into alleged war crimes committed by Israel in Gaza. According to South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, the move comes as South African lawmakers were expected to debate a motion on Thursday calling for the closure of the Israeli embassy in South Africa and cutting all diplomatic ties with the country until it agrees to a ceasefire.
Our government has taken a very clear position in as far as the support for the struggle of the people of Palestine, and in relation to that, our support is not only political, it's also material, particularly at this time of great need. As South Africa, we have accordingly, together with many other countries in the world, saw fit to refer this whole Israeli government action to the International Criminal Court. We have put through a referral because we believe that war crimes are being committed there. Well, many people around the world are really appalled at what is unfolding in Gaza.
Ramaphosa said his country believes that Israel is committing war crimes and genocide in Gaza, where thousands of Palestinians have been killed and hospitals and public infrastructure have been destroyed. Ramaphosa's ruling African National Congress political party said that it would support the motion tabled by the leftist opposition party, the EFF, for the country to shut down the Israeli embassy and cut all diplomatic ties with the country.
To the children of Palestine, the war in Palestine is not a holy war, it's an evil war. Because even here, the apartheid African regime used to say they are the chosen ones, used to say they are children of God and we are animals. So when the Minister of Defense of Israel calls Palestinians animals, we know what he means because we were called animals ourselves here in South Africa. By those
in South Africa. Let us know on where you stand. Let us know if you are an individual that is has any views at all on what's going on in the Mideast. Let's go to North Africa and Morocco, where the Dominican Prime Minister is in the country. The Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerrit, was in the country and spoke on Wednesday, speaking at an engagement in the opening of the 15th edition of Med Days in International Foreign. Dr. Skerrit reiterated the country's firm commitment to the Moroccan autonomy plan as the only credible and serious basis to end the long-lasting dispute. The Moroccan autonomy plan is a plan where the Sahrawis would run the government under Moroccan sovereignty. It also indicates that Moroccan government will control defense and foreign affairs. The Moroccan authorities indicated that the failure of the proposal would increase Islamic fundamental ideas. The Prime Minister of Dominica said that on behalf of Dominican people and the entire organization of Eastern Caribbean states, he expresses deep gratitude to Morocco for the exceptional support for these countries, particularly in the areas of education and agriculture. MedDay's International Forum is organized under the high patronage of King Mohammed VI on the initiative of the Amadeus Institute. It's attended by over 250 speakers, political and economic decision makers. Those in Morocco, let us know if you attended the forum. Also, if you got a chance to see and maybe get a photo op with the Prime Minister of Dominica. Let's go to the Caribbean and end it there. We stay with CARICOM, where the regional government would want collaboration with Africa on a particular issue. The Secretary General of the Caribbean community, known as CARICOM, says that the issue of reparations for the transatlantic slave trade is a priority for the Regional Integration Group. Addressing the 4-day Accra Reparations Conference, which entered its second day, Dr. Carla Bennett said that CARICOM leaders have agreed that collaboration with Africa on reparations is critical to moving the reparations justice agenda forward. She stated that CARICOM welcomes the establishment and excellent advocacy and research initiatives by the UN Permanent Forum on Peoples of African Descent and anticipates deepening collaboration with this body. Meanwhile, the Ghanaian president, Nana Addo, has called for reparations for Africa, saying that reparations must go along with the restitution of African cultural properties stolen from the continent. He also added that it's time for Africa's 20 million whose sons and daughters had their freedoms curtailed and sold into slavery to receive reparations. Those in the Caribbean, let us know how you feel about the Caribbean leaders of CARICOM looking towards Africa as collaboration for reparations justice. When we come back, we'll have today's African proverb of the day. Don't go anywhere.
Colombia! Okay, folks. I have to apologize. The first runner-up is Colombia. Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines.
Costly mistakes like that by an untrained MC are the reason on why your event can become unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. When you book the number one MC in the game, you get a professional with 15 years experience of making your event once in a lifetime. Book MC Cadero for your birthday, baby shower, wedding, and yeah, even beauty pageant. Once again, visit www.mccadero.com, the official website of the number one MC in the game.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at today's African proverb of the day, and it comes to us from Zimbabwe. What's going on, Zimbabwe? And it reads, a king's child is a slave elsewhere. Once again, a king's child is a slave elsewhere, Zimbabwean proverb. I don't try to get too serious when I read some of these proverbs, but this is a very serious proverb because it says that no matter royalty or not, your child or anybody that you are close to, friend or family, they might be treated well by you, but outside of maybe your jurisdiction or your place where you have authority, they don't have to be treated as well. It all goes back to what type of relations that you may have out there, because as a king, you're treated well in your own kingdom, but you might not have the best relations in another land or another jurisdiction. Keep that in mind. Let me know your interpretation of today's African proverb of the day, as well as your thoughts, views, questions, comments, and concerns on the top stories. Don't forget to hit that like button. Make it your best friend. For Kush News on Kush Convos TV, I'm Ochanda. We'll see you soon.